You know that feeling when you've been grinding all day, constantly busy, but somehow you get to the evening and feel like nothing actually got done? Well, you're definitely not alone. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the neuroscience of productivity to build the absolute ultimate, highly actionable daily schedule for busy professionals. So, if you're tired of running on that endless hamster wheel, you are in the exact right place. We're going to break down 8 scientifically backed brain rules and apply them directly, hour by hour, to your daily routine. Let's just shatter the time myth right off the bat, okay? Do the world's most successful people, we're talking the Elon Musks or the Albert Einsteins of the world, secretly have 30-hour days? No, of course not. They have the exact same 24 hours that you and I do. The real difference isn't that they're just magically working harder. Highly successful people don't have extra time. They just know exactly how to manage their brain's energy, while honestly, most people remain completely hostage to their own wandering minds.
And there's a very scientific reason why our minds wander so much. 60,000. That is a massive number, right? Well, according to neuroscience, that's roughly how many individual thoughts your brain is pumping out every single day. But here's the real kicker for us professionals. The vast majority of those 60,000 thoughts, they're pure distractions, anxieties, and totally useless information. It's like having a radio constantly scanning stations in your head. If you don't intentionally step in and control your brain, trust me, it will control you.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to hit 6 key phases. First, the 24-hour brain advantage. Second, morning, movement and curiosity. Third, workday, focus and visuals. Fourth, afternoon, managing office stress. Fifth, evening, repetition and sleep. And finally, we'll wrap up with the 21-day productivity challenge. Starting off with section 1, the 24-hour brain advantage, mastering your mind's clock. Before we get into the exact schedule, you need to hear the core thesis here. Successful professionals absolutely never force their brains to adapt to random tasks. Instead, they strategically align their toughest work with how their brain naturally functions at specific times of the day. Moving on to section 2, morning. Movement and curiosity, starting the engine. This is where you set the entire tone for your day. The goal is to instantly activate your brain the second you wake up, relying on Rule 8, curiosity, and Rule 1, movement. All right, let's build out your morning playbook. Step 1, trigger your curiosity. Please do not immediately grab your phone and check those stressful work emails. Instead, read an intriguing article or look at a problem you can't quite solve yet. You see, the human brain absolutely hates unanswered questions, so doing this automatically flips a switch in your mind, shifting it straight into high-focus learning mode. And then, step 2, follow that up right away with 20 minutes of physical movement. Sitting around all day plummets your brain's efficiency, but by moving first thing in the morning, you are literally flooding your brain cells with oxygen, making your mind incredibly sharp for the hours ahead. Actually, this brilliantly explains why geniuses like Albert Einstein relied so heavily on taking long daily walks. He didn't just chain himself to a desk waiting for some magical inspiration to strike. No, he physically activated his brain's creative centers through movement. If you want high-output days, your body simply has to move before the heavy mental lifting begins. Okay, into section 3, workday, focus and visuals, tackling complex tasks. You've made it to your desk, and this is where you must ruthlessly, and I mean ruthlessly, apply Rule 2, single tasking. Despite what modern corporate culture preaches, your brain craves deep attention and can really only focus on one single thing at a time.
Just think about the average professional's daily reality for a second. We're constantly multitasking, right? Juggling Slack messages, Teams pings, incoming emails, trying to write reports simultaneously. But neuroscience shows that every single time you check a notification, your brain is taxed. It takes 5 to 10 full minutes just to recover your prior level of focus. So an hour of that chaotic ping-ponging work might genuinely only yield 20 minutes of actual productivity. Now contrast that with deep work. Leaders like Bill Gates famously use uninterrupted think weeks. No meetings, no constant pings, just pure, unadulterated focus blocks. To maximize your cognitive output, you have got to learn how to block out distractions entirely. But look, you can't avoid collaboration completely, right? When you do have to break that focus for meetings, you need to communicate in a way the brain actually absorbs. This means combining Rule 6, which is the brain's massive preference for pictures over text, with Rule 3, which is about connecting isolated facts. Seriously, if you slap a massive wall of text on a slide, your clients are going to forget it before they even leave the room. Show them a chart or an infographic, though, and they grasp it in seconds. Plus, the brain is wired for stories. If I just ask you to memorize the words apple, dog, and car, you'll probably forget them by tomorrow. But if I tell you a bizarre little story about a dog eating an apple inside a car, it sticks instantly. So start building connective stories and visual maps into your next big pitch. It's a total game changer. Moving into Section 4, Afternoon Managing Office Stress, Beating the Slump. As the afternoon rolls around, usually hitting us hard at about 2 or 3 p.m., the pressure really starts to mount, bringing us face to face with Rule 5, stress destroys productivity. A tiny bit of stress keeps us on our toes, sure, but chronic, unmanaged stress, that causes your brain's performance to just fall off a cliff. The absolute most crucial move you can make here is to consciously transition your mental state. A stressed mind is highly error-prone. You're thinking it's completely muddy, and you start making panicked decisions as deadlines close in. You have to actively shift back to a calm mind. How do you actually do that? By taking a deliberate, non-negotiable 10-minute break. Step entirely away from the glowing screens, do some deep breathing, take a quick nature walk, or do a brief meditation. And listen, this isn't slacking off or wasting time. This is precisely what top-tier CEOs do to intentionally reset their brains, ensuring they finish out the afternoon making sharp, crystal-clear decisions. Fast forward to Section 5, Evening, Repetition, and Sleep, Locking in Knowledge. The workday itself might technically be over, but your brain, it is still actively processing everything you threw at it today. To make today's high-level learnings permanent, we leverage Rule 7. Repetition is the mother of learning. Let's talk about the undeniable power of spaced repetition. You can't just read a complex market report or try to learn a massive new software skill once and expect it to stay with you. That's just not how memory works. If you learn a brand new concept on day 1, you need to do a brief review of that exact same material on day 3, and then follow it up with a final revision on day 7. Spacing out your reviews like this acts as a massive signal to your brain. It tells your nervous system, hey, this information is vital, permanently locking it right into your long-term memory vault. And that brings us to the ultimate, non-negotiable productivity secret. Rule 4. Sleep makes you smarter. There are way too many professionals out there still sacrificing sleep to hustle, pulling late nights. I'm telling you, that is a massive biological mistake. When you get a full 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your brain is actually doing physical work. It's organizing and filing all the information you gathered that day into accessible memory. A sleep-deprived brain running on 4 hours is just a fatigued, foggy brain that is guaranteed to make terrible, costly decisions the very next day. So absolutely never sacrifice your sleep if you want elite-level focus. Finally, Section 6, the 21-day productivity challenge, transforming your habits. We've built the ultimate daily schedule from the moment you wake up to the second your head hits the pillow. Now we arrive at the climax of our explainer, because transforming your embedded routines takes a bit of time. But neuroscience shows us that 21 days of consistent practice is the exact sweet spot required to see a massive, permanent shift in your cognition. I really want you to keep this thought front and center in your mind over the next few weeks. Successful people don't just work harder, they use their brains differently. True productivity isn't about grinding yourself down into total exhaustion. Not at all. It is simply about matching your daily habits to your own natural biology. By prioritizing movement, ruthlessly single-tasking, managing your stress, and protecting your rest, you're literally multiplying your focus and your output. So, here's the deal. If you commit to this brain-optimized schedule, if you cut out the chaotic multitasking, take that morning walk, aggressively protect your 8 hours of sleep, and let curiosity actually guide your mornings, for just 21 days, you will entirely transform your mental clarity. You now have the actual scientific playbook for your mind. The only question left to answer is, are you going to keep fighting against your own biology, or are you absolutely ready to take control of your brain starting tomorrow?